like self-published little books.
Small independent publications that are self-produced.
One maker or a couple makers talking about one specific thing. It comes from the word magazine, so it's a sort of like an independent magazine, I would say.
Anybody can make them, and they can be pretty much whatever you want them to be as far as quality goes.
Literally anything, and that's the beauty of a zine, is that it has kind of...
It can be like really radical and political, or like very
really
simple
soft
and whatever you want.
Personal.
How many zines do I own? I've never counted. I easily have over 100. I'll say 150, 200 maybe. A lot. Yeah, they add up quickly. I'm kind of obsessed with the tangible experience. In a way, like I collect records, I collect cassettes, I take photographs with film. Like all these things that are very archaic, not very practical. Even making a zine, I mean, you have to go get it copied, you have to pay money to get it done, all this stuff that it's counterintuitive for 2018 and the age that we live in. But I love things that you can actually hold and experience and touch and feel. And I feel like with everything moving so digital these days, and we're all stuck in front of a computer all day. Like for me, like I work in an office in front of a computer all day. I'm pretty sure other people are in the same boat. But to get back to something where you don't have to be plugged in or look at something on a screen, you can actually just come home, sit on the couch, and hold it. That's an experience I think will never be replaced. It definitely feels like there's like a small group of people where I'll see somebody out and it's like, oh yeah, you make zines. Or especially when it gets around Zine Fest time. When I see those people, I just talk to them about it and see like how their zines are coming along. I've always felt a way that like, I feel like I'm somewhat creative, but I never really I just don't know like what platform I'm best at or what I'm good at. And I feel like with zines, it can pretty much be your own thing. It's just you, so... But I love the process of just learning and making the zines or using my own photography or own illustrations that I feel like maybe haven't been published in a while or won't be published anywhere. But since it's coming from me and it's coming in, I get to dictate and like put all my heart and soul into it and lead the creative direction. I love that experience of this is fully from me without, being cautious of like, is this wording correct or is this editing right? But I love just having my own influence and feeling like it's actually from me and sharing it with whoever takes a look at it.
I can do whatever I want. I can make mistakes. I can make bad work. I can make okay work, and keep trying and trying. And I'm just paying for the paper and the ink and some of the materials. Zine can be taken either way, as a more disposable object like a pamphlet, or something you'll keep for a long time like a piece of artwork. And I think that's up to the consumer. And the zine itself is very malleable, whereas if you threw it away, like, you probably didn't spend that much on it, and if you want to keep it, it's very easy to keep. So it's this form of art that kind of bounces around, and it's really up to the consumer to decide how much worth they want to put into it.
Art is forever changing and never stagnant, so the fact that a zine has stayed like this for so long is remarkable, but it's changed so much at the same time. It started as a punk movement in, I would say, probably like late 70s, early 80s, but probably was happening underground way before that, but like recognized by a bigger culture kind of around that time. And they started very radical kind of movements of information. So like
that isn't necessarily widely shared or accessible.
Honestly, I think the platform was meant for people that felt a need to share information that didn't have a platform, right? Like, it was like the counterculture. It was like the opposite, like the thing that wasn't around, created by those who wanted it. So a completely like do-it-yourself DIY realm that put together, you know, groups of people, that brought together people that wouldn't have necessarily come together.
Right, like pre-internet, so really like connecting communities that wouldn't necessarily know each other or like be able to have access to this information, like a lot of like radical or like queer things that, you know, if you're like in a small town, you don't know any other gays.
Well, as far as zines impacting and affecting social change, I would say yes, they still can. They have so much power. It's a small subculture of folks, but they can be read by anybody. And even if you go to coffee shops, you can lay them around. It's just literature that the counterculture can spread to kind of influence the massive, especially now in the political climate that we're in. It goes without saying that these do have a lot of weight. And there's so many times that, you know, just, it's easy to feel small in this country, you know, when so much is controlled by politics or corporations, that you still have a voice, and your voice can be translated through zine making.
My zines are all about like sharing queer experience. Like, I'm from the South and didn't know any gay people or see any gay things really growing up. So like, I don't know, for me it feels very important to validate myself and younger queer people and just put my own experience out there, just like sharing things. I think we wanted to make like a platform for like queer and girls and people to just feel safe expressing themselves and putting their stuff out there.
Zines come from this point of they can be very emotional, very personal, and it's something that, you know, you, the consumer, are picking up and taking the time to look through. So I think it can attach itself to more easily to someone's consciousness than maybe like seeing something on Reddit or the news or something.
There's so much digital stuff hitting you like left and right, where it's never ending. And I think, you know, for me at least, I know I have a limited bandwidth where there's only so much I can take. But I think when things are physical, it's right in your face, and you can choose to, you know, maybe like, that looks interesting, and just walk away, or you can pick it up and engage it, and you're able to hit people from many angles. So not just digitally, but kind of in real life too, in the real world. And for me, I do think things in the real world do carry a little bit more weight.
And 30 people might see them, 50 people over the lifetime of the zine, maybe like 100 people, or it lives in someone's shelf or something, but it's how it affects the person when they see it. I think we've been seduced by the question of number, like how many people, how many likes, how many views you get online, and how that translates to your fame, success, notoriety, your point getting across or whatever. And the way a small pamphlet or booklet can affect someone might instill, you know, your message in them stronger than if they just came across it like on an Instagram feed or something.
I am such a weird purist when it comes to zines. Like, I don't want it to be on the internet. I think it has to go that way, and it's definitely going that way. Yeah, but I really think at that point it's not a zine anymore. I think there's a lot of zines that are like we're saying, like very kitschy and very like sweet and cute and very like, you know, I'm not even saying like my stuff is not like radical or political. It's like very like personal experience based, and like, you know, it's tied into a community that is such. So I think it has a different connotation. But yeah, like I want some like hardcore zines that are like, I don't know, like telling you to like be at this spot at this time, and then that's when we like revolt or something. I don't know. I'm trying to like start a revolution with them. I feel like that's what I want. That'd be cool.